Where there is smoke, there is fire.
Get over here!
What it do, YouTube? It's your boy, Kids the Card Game. Welcome back to another video. Today, we will be coming at you with a MK11 content related video regarding the community as far as the split between MKReo and MK Brady, and also my thoughts on the whole situation. I do want to point out that in me making this video, I do not know anybody on the podcast at all. I'm talking about from MKReo to Brady to M2 Dave to Zyfox to Crimson Shadow. I do not know any of them. Haven't had any talks of them with them at all. So this video is, I'm not trying to be taken aside, nor am I trying to bash or talk down about either one of them. But I do love both of their content. I've watched almost every video of theirs. Honestly, I've been a fan of their content for quite some time, and more so due to the reason because they speak on the topics, and also to their competitive players, of course, former competitive players, and I have been a subscriber for a very long time. With that being said, let's get right into the video. So first things first, is there any drama between M2 Dave, Zyfox, Rio, and Tom? And my thing is, I do feel like there is just a little bit, even though Rio says there is no bad blood. I do feel like there is a little bit, just a smidge, just a very smidge of it, and just due to the fact of how some things that's been stated, in the recent video of Rio's video, and how it just you ever heard the term of it's not what you say but how you say it. And I kind of felt, as far as from a spectator's view, I can see how that kind of, had a little bit of malice behind it. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of malice behind some of the things that they were saying, but not to the degree where it's like hate. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there is any hate between anybody, like, at all. I'm not here to start drama. I don't do drama at all. This is just a video, like I said. I'm not here to, like, oh my gosh, start some more drama. Oh my gosh, I don't go into Rio's comments and stuff. Like, nah, bro. Like, we ain't here for any of that. I tell Rio, if you ever even watch this video, and man, thank you for even watching this video. I really, really appreciate it. But yeah, if anybody, tell Rio, made a video to them, hey, go ahead. I really appreciate that, truly. But yeah, I think there's just a little bit, not so much drama, honestly. As far as the comments that Rio has been getting, man, I really, I'm with him. I don't believe he deserved any of that, because it's just like, yeah, where it's coming from. And I do have at least two ideas of where it could be coming from. One, I think it'd be coming from just a little bit of the just a little bit of the sourness of the MK community. As of recent news saying, NRS is not gonna, make any new content for MK11, which, yeah, for many MK11 players out there, it could be you could put a little sour taste in your mouth, and you could be a little salty or whatever. That's understandable, but just don't take it out on Rio. You know what I'm saying? We all got opinions and beliefs and stuff like that. Yeah, it's all for community. I don't think he deserved that at all. And also too, it could be coming from, you know, um, like, someone said in the podcast where people kind of basically showing their true colors. How they feel about Rio and whatever. And I don't know where it's coming from. I just don't know. If anybody asks me, like, nah, I don't know the hatred or anything towards Rio. I don't know. I don't think he knows either, because I don't believe he's done anything for anybody to hate him. Honestly, unless he just waxed you in the set or whatever. But as far as from that, I don't believe he deserves any hate or any shield field comments that you guys are throwing at his way at all. You know what I'm saying? However, do I believe that the community finding Rio a little bit too positive, which is crazy to say. This is so crazy to say that somebody can be too positive, and community just don't like that. Like, think about that for a second. The community don't like that Rio is being positive. And me personally, I admire it honestly, because I know me as far as my thoughts and opinions about the game. I don't hate the game or by any stretch of the margin. I don't. I do find it a really fun game when I was playing it. I haven't played it in a long time. It's probably been like honestly like 6 months since I've touched MK11. Probably stopped like right after like 3 months. I want to say 3 months after Ultimate that came out, and just for me, it just lost its charm. And I seen where the developers, I just seen that they was ready to move on. And there could be factors. There could have been many factors. Of course, of COVID and stuff happened or whatever that made the life cycle and the content not as flourishing as they promised it would be. But it's all good. And then that's a video game. I tell people this is a video game. But back to the question: is Rio too positive? And I don't think so at all. At all. I do believe the community though probably it could set some people off, and I can see where the realization of the game, where you don't think he's really blind to. I don't think Rio is blind to the negatives of the game, the little stuff like of the game, you know what I'm saying, like just like they turn you off about it a little bit. As I do can see where the community, they just want them to acknowledge it. Honestly, it's like seeing a spider on the wall. You can just leave the spider on the wall. You're not gonna acknowledge it. And which he has actually in his previous videos, he has acknowledged. Yeah, it's like this game is ain't perfect. I can tell you this from a personal experience. I've been playing fighting games for like since I was 4, and I can recall my very first ever fighting game was playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and I love that game. And that game was nowhere near perfect at all. And like ever since then, I've never played a fighting game that's actually perfect. There's no fighting game that's actually perfect at all. So for those who think their fighting games are going to be the way that you want them or out to be, they're not. Trust me. You shouldn't be playing fighting games if you can't adapt, if you can't outthink, if you can't go lab, stuff like that. If you can't do any of those things, and which I really want to commend Rio for stating this in his video, which I think a lot of people don't realize about themselves either. I know me, I am a fighting game player. I do love fighting games. I don't play them at the competitive level or anything like that. I would say I'm a competitive casual. Like I learn enough. Like I do, yes, go lab, go sit in the lab, go actually test things out, go actually see how my character can be advantageous in certain scenarios within a match or a given setting against another character or whatever. But everybody doesn't have that time of day to do that. You know what I'm saying? Got lives, got to work and stuff like that. But I do feel that that Rio made a great point as far as like fighting games are like chess. Truly are. Like I remember even listening to the video when he said that, I was like, man, he is telling the God's truth. Like seriously, like if you ever play chess, that's literally just put that to fighting games. Fighting games are literally chess, because basically with chess you have to do the same thing with fighting games. So you have to literally, there's pieces right on the chessboard, and you have to literally make yourself as much as advantageous as you can throughout the entirety of the match. And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes you're gonna sacrifice things, and within a match sometimes you're gonna sacrifice this little something. You're gonna make somebody do something. You make somebody take a bait, you make somebody do this. Fighting games, you want to know like your plus frames, you want to know how can you approach this character. It's different things. It's like multi-layered things, like you said, that goes into a fighting games, which can go on, man. Somebody could write a novel about that, honestly, and probably wouldn't even be complete. Honestly, the novel wouldn't even tell you the whole story about how multi-layered fighting games are. But pretty much just finding yourself. Like he realized he's a MK, a fighting game player, which nothing wrong with that. Or even, he likes, I know he said he likes Smash as well too, but ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, yeah, some people just Street Fighter players. Some people are Tekken players. I played all those games. I don't play Tekken anymore by any stretch. The last Tekken I played was 6. So y'all can miss me on tag tournament, tag tournament 2 and 7. Although I do love watching Tekken, of course. But I really do commend him for saying that. Also, too, I want to touch on as far as 8 years. If anybody's been with Rio in this podcast, Tom Brady. They've been on that podcast for like 8 years, dating back to the first Injustice actually, and which I didn't watch them. I started watching them in Injustice 2 actually, and yeah, it's kind of been the same, same rendition. I would just say like, for real, I would just say like I wish he would have done it sooner than wait until like this moment in time where it's like, yeah, there was things said about MK11 and he had opinions. I mean, opinions are opinions. They're not, the God's given truth or anything like that. He had opinions about MK11, life expectancy. So as, M2 Dave and Tom Brady and others, what I'm saying, they had different opinions. Just one opinion just became, more proven in the future than other. And then it's nothing wrong with that, everybody's not right, what I'm saying. We don't make the games, the developers do. I just wish you would have done this sooner. Cause it's just like I can see from the community perspective how, you know, they're looking at it like, oh, you're supposed to be this MK, tournament player. Is really, really good one. You're supposed to know your game. Yada, 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 like, like, right. To me, and I'm pretty sure Rio feel the same way. Like, shut up, bro. Bro, it's an opinion. It's an opinion. It's not the God's given truth. This is not a fact. It's not set in stone. This is not written in the in the Daijinchu of MK lore or anything like that. Like, just calm down. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoy the game that you play. You know what I'm saying? If you like the game, continue to support it. I tell anybody not to play MK11 because I don't play MK11. Like, nah, bro. Like, you like to play MK11, go play it. You know what I'm saying? Like, go have fun. Have fun. Go learn me something that I didn't even know about the game. And I know I didn't play as many characters as Rio or probably Tom Brady had played. I know I can relate more as far as to the Tom Brady, as far as the topics of discussion when it comes to set character in the game, especially like Sub Zero, because I mained them. I'm not gonna say I loved them, but I mained them in MK11. And I know like what you main Sub Zero. I already know it's gonna. I already know how y'all gonna be. I already know, but yeah, I mean Sub Zero. It was pretty cool. I liked him. He was very different from previous renditions of Sub Zero throughout the NRS games, but I just liked them. I was just like 50-50, get mixed or you die. I'm cool with that type of play style. But yeah, I pretty much, man, I really don't believe that, like I said, that Rio should, basically get all this negativity from in the comments coming at him and stuff like that or anything like that. I'm interested actually to see where things go for the both of their podcasts. I think this is a good thing because of one Rio, like he wants to do. He wants to basically give you guys knowledge about the game you're playing, and which I do come to Rio for that knowledge, like about said things that I did not know about the game that I've been playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love people telling me something that I don't know about a game that I play. Like, recently I've been playing Guilty Gear Strive, and I think Zyfox made a mention of this where at first week people been playing Guilty Gear Strive. And like everybody love the game, you know what I'm saying? It's really fun. La, la, la. And then like 4 weeks later, a month later, oh man. Ram, Soul, all these characters. Who else is in that bunch? Ram, Soul. I just pretty much those two. I could say are like definitive. Or it's just people just like, man, I hate this game. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'll just tell you, like, I've been preaching the same thing as I've been preaching as far as, like, when it comes to, like, fighting games or just games in general, bro. Like, get good, you know what I'm saying? Like, go lab these things. People do want to complain while the characters in the game, stuff like that. And I've been if you watched the recent Guilty Gear Strive breakdown video, where I've said or like, why is the character in the game? I've been a victim of that too. But don't get me wrong, like I even stated like I do hate the character, but it's not that I hate the character that I don't want to play the game because this character in the game, or I want this character to be taken out of the game. Like, nah, bro, she's in the game. Ain't she a legacy character? And I'm just getting to the, getting into GG actually, and so I think that character, yeah, she's been around for a little minute. So to sit up here and complain about, yeah, I want this character to be taken out of the game, like, nah, bro, like she's been in there for some years, bro. She gotta be in there. You know what I'm saying? It just sucks that she got one good move, or yeah, a few good moves, and it's just like when it's my turn. But like you gotta learn the matchup, man. You gotta find a group of friends or a friend or two to help you with that matchup, and go live when you can, and just run sets, and just keep playing, just keep gaining knowledge, keep gaining information, and how can you better yourself when fighting a character with character that you may be choosing. Overall, I will say that like I said, I'm really interested in seeing, where these two podcasts go. Honestly, really interested in what the future videos that they may hold. I'm really interested in what I would be told as far as like with Rio, because I'm expecting like to know what is his, give me some knowledge, some tech about MK11 that I didn't even know. And Brady, I do love his, his. I would say more so truthful. They're truthful. When it comes to talking about the game, they're truthful. Yeah, they can come off a little bit naggy or like, oh, he hate the game or anything like that, or he try to compare it to the good old D's MK9, which I tell people, old heads gonna be old heads. You know what I'm saying? So what they mean is, for instance, I know my parents, and my parents like up there in age, like 40, right? So they grew up in the, like, we're going to sport of basketball. They grew up in the Michael Jordan era. You know what I'm saying? So their goat is Michael Jordan. Mine is LeBron. So I grew up in the Kobe and LeBron era. So I seen that. I seen the best of those two. Yeah, rest in peace, Kobe. And Tom Brady, he's gonna miss the good old D's. You know what I'm saying, with the MK9 and whatever it might be. You just got to let that be. I don't, me personally, I wouldn't compare any game to a previous game, because like MKReo said earlier, how every game has its own charm and has its own thing that that just like, man, it's so different. Like, yeah, when I play Injustice, and I tell people all the time, like, anybody asks me, that's my favorite NRS game that's ever been put out. Yeah, I tell them it's Injustice 2. Reasons being why I would say, because I find it to be the most balanced NRS game they've put out. Yeah, people can make that debate with MK11 or whatever would not be, but I think Injustice 2, to me personally, I've spent at least 1,000 hours playing that game and pretty much just touched every character. And yeah, there are. I'm not gonna sit up here and say, hey, there is no 7 threes in Injustice 2. Like, bro, I'd be cap if I said some crazy stuff like that, or even 8 twos. Like, nah, bro, it is something in there. But I think it's, for me, it's more enjoyable to play. One, it's not as stale. Two, like with certain stuff I come in contact with, especially with MK11. I just did not like. As far as example, and it wasn't even more so the characters. I think the characters was fine until they got to the customizations, where I could tell it was very imbalanced, like super imbalanced with characters and stuff, and would never be like character slotting. And how, man, I on a side note, I will do feel bad for you Melina's lovers out there, because they did Melina look dirty. I'm not even a Melina stan, but they did Melina a little dirty. I'm not gonna lie, because some of her iconic moves, or even in her like base move set, like I was like, yo, what? I gotta choose, and like you had move conflictions and stuff like that. I was like, oh man, that's kind of it's kind of little whack, But you play it, you love it, cool. Don't, there's other games. So at the end of the day, I think this was a good thing, like I said, for the both of them, and I'm still going to be tuned in to both of the podcasts. I think if you already are, I think you should still continue, honestly, because you got 2 podcasts now. So that's pretty cool. More content for you, and for us. You know what I'm saying? But till again, thank you guys for listening. My thoughts on the whole Brady and MK split. Really appreciate if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video.